Alright boys, in this video we're going to be looking at how we solve problems with equations, okay? So previously in the other videos we've been given equations and we've worked out how we can solve them. So now that we have that experience, we need to be able to work out word problems. So we need to be able to create equations from problems and then be able to solve them. So this is what this lesson in this video is going to be about. So I'll give you some steps, we'll do it together, and then I'm going to slowly release that information, and then you're going to do it yourself. So we've got two examples here, and we're going to create an equation from what we know, and then we're going to solve those equations. So I'm going to show you how we do that. So we're going to use this first example over here where it says Phil has 70 cents. He buys a pear and has 25 cents left. If X represents the cost of a pear in cents, form an equation and solve it to find the cost of a pear. So the first thing that you need to do, and I'll write this here, which is step 1, is you need to define the variable. So I'm just going to write variable here. Now remember, the variable is the unknown quantity, the thing that we don't know. And in this case, it actually tells us what it is, and it says if X, so here we have X, what does that represent? That represents the cost of a pear. Okay. So step 1 is always try and find what the unknown is, the variable, the thing that we actually need to find out. Step 2 then is to then work out the equation, or create an equation from the problem. Okay, create equation. Now the best tip I can give you, especially with these ones that seem a bit difficult, is we read through it and I want you to highlight or identify the things that we know, the things that we think will be involved. So if I get my highlighter here, so what I do, I'll read through now and I'll highlight the things that are going to be important. So Phil has 70 cents. So totally he has 70 cents. He buys a pear, so that means it's one pear, and he has 25 cents left. Okay, so he starts with 70, or he has 70 in total. He buys a pear and then he's got 25 cents left. And we have also X, and represents the cost of the pear. Form an equation and solve to find the cost of the pear. So this is the information that I need to use. Now what I want to do is create an equation. I do that by analyzing this and really just starting to get my information out. So the equation that I have is that it would be, I know that X is the cost of the pear. I know that if I add 25 cents, so that's what I had left over, I will get 70 cents. So now I've created an equation. The cost of the pear, which we don't know, which we need to find out, I've got 25 cents, and that's going to equal the 70, which is the total that I started with. Step 3 is then simply solve. Okay, so we've done this previously, we should be able to know how to solve this. So in this case, I'm going to do balancing. So I've got plus 25 here, so if I take 25 on this side, that means I need to take 25 on this side. What I got left over then is X, nice and simple, X equals 45. Okay, so I now know that that's my result. Step 4 is usually you substitute that in, so make sure that makes sense. If you put that into an actual equation, 45 plus 25 equals 70, which I know is correct. So they're the steps you're going to do. We're going to move on to the next one over here, which is a little bit more difficult, but will give us a good idea of how we do things. Okay, so the question on this one is, Erica has bought 2 movie tickets and 1 bucket of popcorn for a total of $21. If the popcorn costs $5, how much does 1 movie ticket cost? Use T as a cost of a movie ticket to form an equation and solve it to find the value of T. Okay, so remember, step 1 is we need to identify the variable. Again, they've given it to us here, so we're going to use T, which is the movie ticket cost. Step 2, okay, you're going to create the equation and go through and highlight these special parts. So I'll get my highlighter here. So Erica has bought 2 movie tickets, so I know I've got 2 of them, and 1 bucket of popcorn for a total cost of $21. The popcorn actually costs $5, so how much does 1 movie ticket cost? So we want to find out how much 1 movie ticket costs. So now I can create an equation, and I'll do that by sort of just working out the best method of how this sentence will make sense. So again, I know that we have 2 tickets, I buy 2 tickets, so that's going to be 2 times the price of T. Then we have plus the bucket of popcorn, which is $5. and we know that that's going to be a total of 21. So then we move on to step 3, which is solve. So we can do that simply here by balancing again. So if I have 2t plus 5 equals 21, I'm going to go 2t minus 5 on that side equals 21 minus 5, which equals 16. So now I have 2t equals 16. Then I can now have 2, if I have 2 times t on this side, I'm going to divide it by 2 on that side. So I'll have t equals 16 divided by 2, which I know equals 8. So my answer is $8. Make sure you state that unit there, so I've done here cents and dollars, and then you substitute that in, and that's how you get your answer. So you go through the steps, read the question, make sure you give yourself that time, highlight the important parts and the important features of each of the questions so you know the variables and the things that you don't know, and follow those steps and you'll be right from there. Thanks, boys.